Welcome back to One on One. I have a question for you. Are you wasting good talent? Are you creative, artistic, but you're sitting on the sofa watching TV instead of doing something? Well, I have a solution. Do you know that there's a wonderful set of classes right here in your own backyard? Want to know more about them? My name's Vin DeQuino. Our next guest, Joyce Picone.
Hi.
Joyce, you are the president of the Putnam Arts Council.
I am.
What is that?
The Putnam Arts Council?
Yeah, what is the Putnam Arts Council?
Well, the Arts Council is an umbrella organization for Putnam County and the New York State Council on the Arts to provide services and to support artists, to provide funding for arts organizations and art presenters throughout the community. Last year we gave out over $40,000 in grants.
Wow.
And this year we're on tap to do about the same, a little more actually. We funded organizations that will be familiar to you, Hudson Valley Shakespeare.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh.
At Boscobel.
So it isn't just visual or hands-on art. It's theater. It's
No, it's all the arts. We support all the arts.
Wow, that's great.
We funded Brewster Theater Company, for example,
Wow.
Mahopac Library for some of their BAM concert series, Arts on the Lake,
Wow.
a studio around the corner in Brewster. We gave out about 21 grants last year to organizations throughout Putnam County.
So arts isn't just a four-letter word.
No, it is not, and it isn't just drawing and painting either.
No,
although
no.
they're obviously critically important to the visual artist.
I know it's yes, and
But
I know
the literary arts are
I know
supported.
it's sculpting and working with clay.
You took
been
a
there,
class,
yep.
exactly.
Wonderful
So
class.
that we also do. So we wear two hats. As the
Yeah.
council, we support artists and arts organizations, and work with the community countywide, which distinguishes us from other arts organizations.
Yeah. What I didn't realize that you did, and I really applaud, is that you support the artists who create artists.
Yes.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
Because the teachers of these courses also need support.
Right.
People forget that sometimes.
Well, that's very true. So as the Arts Center, the Belle Levine Arts Center, where we are on Kennicott Hill Road in...
Wait a minute. Belle Levine Art Center.
Correct.
Now, what we're talking about is the council, but then we're talking about the council also represents a center that's located right in Mahopac.
That's correct.
And that center offers classes. You can also go there and see wonderful pieces of art. Occasionally you sponsor shows too.
Oh, it's more than occasionally. This year, 2017, we'll have a show almost every month.
Wow.
The gallery might be dark 2 months out of the 12 months or so. So we serve many different types of visual artists.
So artists get to showcase their work there.
Yes, we have a member show featuring our members. We have a student art show, high school work. We have an emerging and emeritus show, which celebrates the work of artists under 35 and over 75, which is a very
my
cool
category.
show.
No.
And we have a fine art show for the artists who want to be in a competitive juried setting with awards.
Wow.
We have sponsors for
So
shows.
it really is an umbrella.
Yeah, no, we do a lot of different things. So that's one component of the Arts Center that the council manages, the exhibition program, the gallery program. By the way, all of our shows are open to the public, and there is no admission.
Oh,
So
nice.
arts are for everyone.
Wow, yeah, that's right.
So
I've been to a number of your shows. It's fascinating. Jewelry and painting and pottery and I mean, there's just so many
Well, our
wonderful
craft
things.
sale and show just
Yeah.
ended. So that was an exhibition of 39 artisans.
Wow.
Support local. They're all from the area or the region. All of the work was done here in this community or the larger surrounding communities. We have original work, and we set it up as an exhibition. That was also admission free. And the community loves it every single year.
And often, so the artists themselves come to these things, don't
Yes,
they?
we have featured artists
Yes, you
each
can meet
weekend.
artists, that's great.
So we had Amy
you know, some
Barry.
of them look like artists.
And Amy Barry did these great birdhouses. She's a local artisan. It was the first time she was in
See, now,
in our show.
I mean, that's amazing because you almost don't think of birdhouses as art.
They were beautiful. Did you see them?
Yeah, I did.
She
I
had
did.
one that was like a Harry Potter type of a huge, beautiful.
I also wanted to
spin-
run out the door when I saw some of the pottery,
Yes.
and I compared my little dysfunctional bowl to some of their beautiful, beautiful. I mean,
Well, that's two
gorgeous
conversations. Firstly, I would say it's
takes time.
It's
You
the
have to learn.
process, not the
yeah,
product.
that's right.
It's about
mean,
doing it. It's about enjoying the process.
Just sitting at the wheel and creating a bowl
Right.
was something I never thought I'd be able to do.
That's the art.
And support the people in the class.
Yes.
You know, they come over and they go, "Oh, that looks great." And even if it doesn't, it feels good that somebody's saying it.
Well, Michael Cole is one of our teachers.
Yeah.
And he's and Micah Hoekstra is the other who is the class that you were in.
She was great.
She's fantastic. She's been with us a long time. They were both in the craft show. They both had beautiful pottery. The pottery studio has really created a little livelihood, a little community of its own.
Yeah. Yes.
They meet in between class to work on other pieces or to perfect something they were working on in class. They share information. They connect with each other. As you said, they help each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And what I liked about Micah was she doesn't necessarily teach the pottery. She facilitates.
Right.
She doesn't say, "Do it this way."
Well,
she says, "This is how it's done. Do it your way."
It's your expression.
Yeah, and,
So-
and you know, she didn't stick her hands in my bowl.
Right.
You know, she
It's
just
your bowl.
said, "This." Yeah, and if I destroyed it, then I destroyed
So
it.
you
It's
start
my bowl.
over. That's the great thing about pottery. You can go boom, 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 and crush it down and start again, and everything is
yeah,
fine.
it's funny because my wife was doing a bowl and she pressed too hard, and it caved in, and she was like, "Don't worry about it."
Right.
Yeah, she got it. Put
Start
another thing
again.
there, and then she did it right the second time.
So you got to use the wheel,
Yeah.
the pottery wheel.
I got
and,
the pottery wheel and then sculpture, which was really
right, hand
nice.
building, which
Yep,
is sculpting.
and then you learn how to, paint the things, glaze them,
Right.
which is kind of nice.
Yes.
And you're surrounded by other pieces.
And it's a
which is
very
also-
nice studio. We just put in a new
it is
floor.
nice,
We have
yeah.
8 wheels. They all work great.
Yeah.
We have glazes. Michael's very organized.
I was also very impressed with the kids,
What they do.
children.
Yes, we have
You
children's
know, when you have the
classes.
children in there, children make me look bad.
Yeah, well,
No,
they're very
actually-
free-spirited.
Oh, they are.
So they don't have that little voice saying, "Oh, maybe not do it that way." They just do it.
Yeah, they do it, and if
Exactly.
they dare to take a chance,
Yes,
to risk.
they dare to
take
take a risk.
and that's what I liked about the class. It was risk taking.
Good.
They didn't say you can't do this
Right.
or this doesn't work.
Right.
You had to find out for yourself if it doesn't work.
Well, many of our other classes are equally as interesting and supportive in
Yeah.
the environment and the atmosphere. We
There was
have
some wood carving. I want to do that.
yeah,
Stone carving.
we had
oh my
stone
God, that
carving.
was-
We had watercolor. We have an oil and acrylic
Yeah.
class. We have photography classes with
That's
Jim
wonderful.
Sparks, who's a terrific painter himself, as well as photographer and
Yeah.
a professor
Yeah.
at an area college.
I'm going to tell the audience this. Listen, I almost didn't take the class because I said, I don't have time. Truth is, if you really want to do it, you'll find the time. You have to do it. We're fighting now. My wife and I are trying to figure out when our next class will be. But sometimes life gets in the way. Make room.
Make time for
You
yourself
have
to do it.
Yeah,
It
because
improves your
head-wise,
thinking.
I sat there, for 2 hours, creating things and forming things, and
Right.
it was good head time,
Yes.
and it's good to do. And then you get to see the real artists and what they do, and it gives you a goal.
Yes, and as you said, the Art Center also has teachers who are artists. All of our teachers are artists themselves, they're artists and who are teaching, and they do work also, and they participate in our exhibitions. So there's a crossover and a connection between the different levels of the things that they do and that we support them in doing.
Now, I also have to say something. I have to give you plaudits again for. I was at one of those shows with my books.
Yes, that's correct.
writers are artists too.
That's correct.
And you acknowledge and recognize that arts, not a four-letter word. It's a huge conglomerate of talents, and finding the talent inside of yourself, your creative spirit.
Well, I think because I'm not an artist myself, although...
Did you make that sign?
No, I did not. But I was
gonna
clever
say,
enough
see,
to
you
bring
are.
it. I was clever enough to bring it, and I recognized that it was adorable.
It is adorable.
Yes. No, I connected. I had someone do that for me.
There you go. But see,
but because I came, I'm
you're a facilitator.
I am. I'm a born organizer.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to connect people.
That you need that because you are the head of a council.
Right.
And that council is an umbrella
Yes.
that brings in a lot of people. If you were down in the studio all day creating,
Right.
you wouldn't be able to help as many artists as you do.
No,
do what they need to do.
And we connect them with other arts organizations as
Yeah.
well, because we serve other arts organizations, about 30 of them. We are very careful not to compete or step on the toes of what they're doing. So when you're
Right.
talking about a writers group that you're involved in at the Mahopac Library,
Right.
we don't have a writers group because the library has one and Arts on the Lake has one.
Yeah.
So we try
That's
to
amazing.
weave in and
Yeah,
out
you
of...
have to. So you're really countywide.
Yes,
really
we're countywide. We're the only arts service countywide organization in Putnam County.
Wow.
So the state provides us with funding, as I said, through the New York State Council
That's
on the
great.
Arts, and Putnam County government does as well.
Tell me a little bit about these. I call them scholarships. I don't know what
Okay.
grants.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about some of the grants that are available for these artists out here.
Well, you have to come in through an application process.
Okay.
Our application deadline was in November for 2017 funding. The panel is slated to meet this month
Okay.
to determine, based on the applications and a
So
number
they
of
get all these
criteria.
applications and they thumb
They
through
review
them.
them. It's a review panel of community members, artists, audience members, people who are interested in the arts and who go to events, who are familiar
Right.
with what is available here. So the first criteria is always artistic merit. So the projects have to be sound and they have to be creative and they have to be doable. And so the application process is just as you said. They apply online. We disseminate the grants to the panel reviews them, and we disseminate the funding. And then throughout the year, we audit the programs to make sure that the organizations are fulfilling their obligation and using the funding as they intended.
So what does it fund? I mean, the actual time of the artist, the supplies for the artist, the...
It can fund both of those things. There's many things it can fund, but there's many things it can. It's project oriented.
Okay.
So, like if you're doing a film series,
So you can't just say, I want a grant so that I could paint.
No, it's
But-
not an individual artist grant.
Okay.
You have to come in through a nonprofit organization,
Oh, okay.
and it has to be open to the public because it's funded with public dollars. So it not only supports the artists, but it supports the community's access to quality arts.
So you have to be part of another organization.
You have to be, or they can sponsor you.
Oh,
So
okay.
you
So
could
you
be an
can-
individual artist who comes in through an art center or a library and does your project there.
Oh,
So they
okay.
are the applicants.
So a library could sponsor you, an art center
Yes.
could sponsor
Yes.
you. Okay.
You have to be a nonprofit like we are. We're a 501c3 nonprofit chartered through the New York State Department of Education. So you have to be a nonprofit organization chartered in Putnam County to be eligible to apply for this funding. And some of the organizations I spoke of in the beginning, Hudson Valley Shakespeare, Brewster Theater Company, Doansburg Chamber Ensemble, these are sort of ongoing organizations who apply and often are funded. The Studio Around the Corner for their music series. It funds music, it funds literature, it funds visual arts. All of the arts are eligible
Wow.
to come in through this competitive application process. We have informational seminars throughout the summer and the fall to inform people on the process. There are guidelines on our website for people who might be interested for 2018 funding. They could inform themselves of who we funded.
Wow.
They can look at our current application and our guidelines to see if they might want to work towards applying for our next round of funding, which would be in the late fall, early winter of
Now,
2017
is
for
there
2018.
like a typical amount for funding? I mean,
The maximum is 5,000.
Wow.
But we get a lot of applications, and we're giving out, as I said, around $40,000.
Wow.
So very
That's
few
wonderful.
people get 5,000.
Yeah.
You know, there's a range from
So 5,000 would be like a major county project.
yes, and perhaps a partnership with another organization to enhance the audience and develop the
I
audience.
mean, one project that I could think of, the late Eric Arctender.
Sybil's Run.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
Sybil's Run
Yeah.
did a beautiful thing with the
Yes.
stars. I bet you've seen those little red
Yes.
stars all around. That was actually an art project.
Yes.
It wasn't really a historical marker. It was an art project, and it was
It was a
wonderful.
conceptual project
I
of
had
Eric's.
the wonderful opportunity to drive around
Uh-huh.
with Eric.
You did?
Yep, before
Oh,
he
you were very
passed,
fortunate.
I went, with Jimmy Walsh.
Oh,
who
yes,
was the
and
Boy
he did
Scout.
the second project.
Yep, and what
Yes.
he did is he followed
Yes.
up on what Eric did,
Yes.
and he put those white signs with the maps
Yes,
on
yes.
them, that are all around,
Uh-huh.
so you could follow Sybil's.
Yeah, he followed her run too, her
Yeah.
ride. But do you know why they're white stars?
No.
Because Eric chose that because Sybil's horse was named Star.
Oh.
So that's why there's a
Isn't that
white
funny?
star on the
I
red
didn't
background.
know that.
Yeah.
And I actually went that whole route with him.
He didn't tell you.
No, he didn't.
He's a great
He didn't.
storyteller, though.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was great.
And our
he was
gallery is
great
named for
Jimmy.
him, you know,
Is
in his
that
memory.
right?
It's the Eric
Oh.
Arctender Gallery.
Yeah.
And we have a scholarship in his name as well.
Wow.
And
that's good.
that's-
he should be remembered.
That's a $1,000 scholarship.
Wow.
It's an annual application, and it's for artists just to develop them in their career in the arts. And you have to be up to 45 years old.
Wow.
So you can't be a student. There are a number of
Yeah.
restrictions, but again, that information can be found on our
Up to
website.
and not exceeding 45, or?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I think
Wow.
it's between
Interesting.
30 and 45 or 25 and 45. There's an age range.
Interesting.
Yes, and this past year, two artists, we couldn't choose between two artists, so they each got a scholarship.
Nice.
We divided it amongst them.
Nice.
Yes.
So that must be hard work. Do you have a panel of people who make these decisions?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And do they change, or are they people who stay with it? Because that's a hard job.
well, our panel for our grants, not the scholarship, but our grants, it's a 3-year term.
Oh, 3-year term.
Three-year
Yeah, I
term.
wondered if there was a term limit.
Yeah, so the
Wow.
scholarship is probably going to be, we haven't specified because it's new. I mean, Eric passed away in 2013, so, the panel is still the same panel. So that will be up to Adele Jones, his wife, as well as the Arts Council, on how we want to proceed with that.
Now, how long have you been in this position?
I've worked there, not the entire time as the director. I've probably been the director about 16 years.
Wow.
But I've been at the Putnam Arts Council since my son's first day of first grade, and he's 34.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
It was my
wonderful.
daughter's first day of second grade, to be fair, to represent them both. So I've been there a long time, and I've done all manner of things
Yeah.
from their grants
And your
program.
daughter is there too, right? Doesn't she come in and out of there?
My daughter loves the place.
Yeah.
So they grew
I've
up
seen
there.
her there a couple times.
They took classes. They contribute. They
Yeah.
volunteer.
Yeah, that's-
She's an
has to be
attorney,
kinda
and
like
she's
home.
helped
It's
us.
part of her
Yes,
life.
it's like their second home. When we had the fire happen,
Yeah.
that's what my kids said. It was like their second home.
Tell me a little bit about that. You had a fire. How long ago was that?
It was in February of 2007.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a lot of damage?
Oh, yes. The cause was undetermined. It had started outside. It had nothing to do with the art center or the kiln or
boy.
anything of art that to do with us. But it took down, it basically destroyed a good portion of the building.
Wow.
And so we really relocated to Tilly Foster Farm. We were there for 3 years, which was a great space. And
No,
it's
it is a
looking
great
wonderful
space.
now, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it
beautiful.
is.
And
I still haven't gotten to what's they call the Tilly Foster Kitchen or the Tilly's
Table,
Table.
I wanted to
that's
say.
it. Yep.
And I think it's great to have the culinary
Yeah, I haven't
arts,
gone-
another
it's-
art form
it's
there.
very great.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
and so we
Another form of art.
exactly. So we were there for 3 years while we were rebuilding and doing different things over in Mahopac. And then we moved back in 2010. So the wind-up out of something bad came something good because we had upgrades of all types, climate control, security, different flooring and painting, and we got to pick different things, and that was sort of a creative process too. And additionally, I would love to mention the fact that we work with a lot of volunteers. We have people who help us all the time, our craft sale and show committee,
Are you
and
still
our
looking
gallery
for more
committee. We are
volunteers?
always looking for volunteers.
You hear that?
Absolutely.
Volunteers.
We are always looking for
We
volunteers.
need people at the Art Center to volunteer and help other artists.
We have, we work with the WISE program. We had a high school student from WISE in last year for the second half of her high school term, and she was terrific, Allison, and she just came back. She went to Hartford College, and she just came back on vacation and wants to come in and do whatever we might need. So we also help the community out that way. And that's why I got involved. I live here. And
this
so
is
I
our
wanted to
home.
work in my own backyard, and I believe that the arts enrich the community.
You know, I've had an ongoing battle to try to get writers to the forefront. And it's so important. There's so many people in this county who are so talented.
Were you involved at all with the Putnam Poets when we had the Putnam Poets years ago?
I was aware of it, but not involved in
Right.
it.
And they disbanded and took a few years off, which happens with organizations after a decade and run by volunteers. And then they kind of resurrected themselves and started in different places. And some of them are at the library now, and some of them at Arts on the Lake.
And I went to several shows at the Storefront Gallery. That was wonderful. I loved the idea of putting it on the street.
Right.
You know,
Right.
let people
Art in
see
public
it.
places.
You know,
We do that as well.
Mahopac has come a long way
Yes.
in supporting writers.
So you're talking about Look Art Gallery that was down on 6N?
Yes, right next to the barber shop there.
Yes, that was Christopher Staples and Susan Zune and Eric Arctander who were instrumental in making that happen. And they had a good run, 2 years or so.
And I used to love to go there and just kind of look at the pieces that were there. And
well, you could come to our shows, you know.
I do.
Well, what we have is the curse and the blessing. We have privacy, but we're off the beaten track. So it's the yin and the yang.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's good to be off the
But
beaten
you don't
track.
see us
Right,
on.
as
We're
much.
not
So
reminded
that's why it
all
needs
the
to
time.
be visible. I brought writers. There was a little celebration in town. I brought the writers there. We did meet the authors at the library.
Right, I know
we
you
had
did.
like 36 authors.
Yes. There's an amazing amount of talent in
there
this
is,
community.
and it's coming in more and more all the time.
We have
as
a
new people move in.
retired prima ballerina and principal from New York City Ballet. We have Midhat Serbaji, who is an incredible musician, and everything in between, from beginner to intermediate to experts in their field.
And we have to continue celebrating the arts.
Yeah.
And that's where I give you so much credit, because you do that. You bring artists together, and you help us understand that art isn't strictly painting. Nothing wrong with painting.
No,
but there's so many other forms of art
well, I
that
was
need
just
to be
telling your
addressed.
former she's a writer, and she's an artist.
Yeah.
You know, when I say artist, I mean the whole spectrum of people who do art.
It is an art. Language arts.
Exactly,
You know?
all of it, and it's the purest form of freedom of expression.
Yes, it is.
So it's fundamentally important in so many ways to document our history, to look to our future, to celebrate our present.
I say it over and over again to young and old people alike. You have to find your creative spirit.
Right. It gives a voice for
in there.
So you were talking earlier about bullying in your other segment, and I'm really a strong proponent of the arts providing a voice, whether it's dance or music or drawing or painting or pottery.
You need to be heard.
For kids to have an outlet to share information in a positive way.
Here's something that you'll hear me say
And adults
100
as
times.
well, actually.
Readers are leaders.
Yeah, that's good.
Writers are fighters.
Okay.
They fight to be heard.
Yes, that's
And
true.
artists
We all do.
fight to be felt.
Yeah.
You know, there's that creative spirit inside of you that doesn't deserve to be caged.
Right.
You have to
No,
let it
you have to
free.
let it fly.
Yep.
We try to let that fly. We imagine what could be, and don't confine things in a box.
What did
or-
Maya Angelou say? Let the cage bird
Yes.
sing.
Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah.
And what couldn't she write?
Oh,
She must be
she
one
was
of your favorites,
yeah, she's wonderful.
right?
Yep, she was a creative spirit.
Absolutely.
And you need to be heard. Well, we're starting to run down, so there's some important things that we
Yes.
have to get out there.
Okay.
Your hours.
Okay, we're there Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 4, and I'm always available by appointment.
Great.
We're open on weekends when
You
we
seem
have
to live
exhibitions.
there. Every time I go there, you're there.
Yeah, I'm there a lot.
I honestly believe you have a sleeping bag under the table.
A little cot and stuff. I have a couch in my
I
office.
believe it.
And we're there on weekends, many weekends, for exhibitions and for classes. And the teachers are there on the weekends and evenings. We have evening classes.
Oh, there you go. Look.
Yes.
Register online by Friday, January 27th.
That's
So-
for the winter session.
Okay, for the winter
So-
session, get off the couch and get over there.
The winter session begins the end of January into the first week of February, runs for 6 weeks. We have after-school classes, we have daytime classes, we have evening classes, and weekend classes. And we have a myriad of fantastic teachers. Do I have a minute?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Go for it.
I have a teacher who, Sarah Gilchrist is her name, and she's from the area. And she got a scholarship from us when she was in out of high
And
school
now she
going to
teaches for
college.
you.
She got a scholarship in high school at our high school show, then
Wow.
an award at our high school scholarship, and then she went off to college and came back, and now she teaches for us.
That's wonderful.
It's kind of a nice story.
Yeah,
She does
yeah.
Fun Fridays, so for kids who
You're
have a
growing
busy
your own.
schedule. Yep. Yes, we keep everyone. We bring them back. I say no one leaves. So that's every Friday, and you can sign up for 1, 2, or 3. A small commitment if you don't have a lot of time. Fridays from 5:30 to 7. And we have something for everyone. We really do. And if you don't take a class, come to an exhibition, come to a reading. We also support performances. Many of our grants fund performing arts, and we also have some performances in our space.
Wonderful.
So as the council, we support every type of art form.
Well, you heard it here.
Yeah.
Putnam Arts Council is not a building.
No, it is not.
It is a very important part of our community. It helps to support arts.
And we've been doing it for over 50 years.
Yep.
So we have
they
it
have
down.
to be doing something right, right, guys?
Let's hope so, yes.
We can't thank you enough for tuning in today. We appreciate your being here. We certainly appreciate
Thank you
your
so
being
much
here.
for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year.
A lot of good information. PutnamArtsCouncil.org.
Thank you.
Ingrained it in your brain.